Hi, this is Bob Odell with Root Source. You know, Gidon has so many friends in Israel, and occasionally he introduces me to some of them. And one time, he introduced me to some of his close Christian friends here, Dave and Lesley Richardson. And I got to meet Lesley. And in the process, I don't exactly remember how it happened, but in discussing things like the blood moons or whatever, this was back a little while ago, I got to read a chapter of a book that she was writing. And this chapter blew me away. And so I have news. Lesley Richardson has published the entire book that she was writing that includes that chapter. Welcome to Root Source, Lesley.
Thank you, Bob.
I was so touched by this and what you drew out of the Feast of Passover. But what is this book? What's it called?
Well, it's called Bible Gems from Jerusalem, and it's got a subtitle, History and Theology in the Feasts of Israel.
Okay.
So I follow the feasts through the church year and the Jewish year as well. And along the way, I'm drawing in the landscape of Israel, geography, interesting personages, historical events that may not be familiar to Christian readers. And I weave all these things together.
How long did it take to put this together? Has this been something did you sit down and write it, or has it come over years?
I tried to write it over the course of a year following the feasts. It took a little bit longer with editing and so on. And we've gone back and forth to Canada as well, because my husband is a Canadian. I'm really thrilled it's finally all come together.
So you cover most of the feasts?
It's a little bit eclectic, I guess, but I do cover the main feasts, which are Passover, Easter, Shavuot, Pentecost, and then Sukkot.
Yes.
That is the focus. But I also bring in other celebrations that, again, people may not be so aware of. For example, there's the 40 days. The Christians are aware that there's a 40-day period after Easter.
Yes.
And many significant events happen then. So I actually travel up to Galilee, and I'm talking about the landscape there. But at the same time, in the Jewish world, we have some very important remembrances. We've got Holocaust Remembrance Day, and we've got the remembrance of the fallen in Israel's wars. And then we've got Yom HaAtzmaut, which is Independence Day.
Yes.
And it's very interesting that those remembrances are taking place in this same 40-day period. And I also bring in some feasts that are perhaps not so focused on. For example, the Feast of the Transfiguration, which is very big here. And it's such a magnificent event. We should be celebrating it.
Yes. When I've read some of the chapters out of here, I was touched by the way in which you were describing these things. It was accessible. I felt it was accessible, but it was also rich at the same time. Mm-hmm. And that's hard to do. How have you... This is a gift. Is it not? I feel like you've been given a great gift.
I feel this is the Lord's gift to me, and I want to use it. I said on the back of one of my books, I've written another book, that Paul says he's been given this privilege to preach the unsearchable riches of Jesus Christ. Yes. And that's, God has given all of us gifts, and we want to use them for his kingdom and his glory. One thing I did want to do, I wanted to make the book accessible to non-Christians, non-believers, because by and large, in the secular world, we've forgotten the scriptures and how basic they are to our whole culture and civilization. And one of my aims was to make non-Christians or nominal Christians see the riches in the scriptures that we have and the wisdom.
That's wonderful. You know, we're gonna talk more with Lesley in a future series, and we're gonna get into some of the different chapters, and I'm gonna ask her some of the things that I want to. But now, at the end of the year, it's a great time to think of giving gifts to people. And I want to say from my heart and my mind that this book would be a treasure for a gift-giving occasion, Christmas, Hanukkah, or what have you. This is one you would not go wrong. If you want to see the feasts and see them in the light of the Messiah, in the light of Yeshua, this is a great resource. You know, we've done other things at Root Source that are purely from the Jewish perspective. This is a little bit more of a blend. But if this is something that you have someone in mind that might be interested in, this would be a wonderful way, I think, to introduce them to the feasts. Just read a paragraph or two, and you won't be able to stop. Well, thanks, Lesley, for joining us, and we'll be back in another series and talk about these things more.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Okay. All right. Well, until next time, this is Bob Odell with Root Source saying, and then after I say it, you can say it too, Shalom.
Shalom.